Greetings! Welcome to my channel. My name's Patty Jakes, and I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic addict. I'm not a medical professional. This space is dedicated to the journey of sobriety and the pursuit of a healthier, happier life, sharing my experience, strength, and hope with all of you. Join me as we navigate the challenges, celebrate the victories, and build a supportive community to living our best sober lives together. So I thought the topic for today's episode would be about building a supportive network, sober network. Some of the ideas that I have that have helped me to getting and staying sober one day at a time, and also discussing the sober lifestyle and how wonderful it can be. I know when I first got sober 22 years ago, I thought that my whole life was over and that, I wasn't going to have any fun anymore. Forget going on a vacation. Although ironically, I never remembered my vacations because I was always drinking. So I didn't want to think about that. I just wanted to think, oh, my whole life is over. I'm not going to have any fun anymore. And ironically, the truth of the matter is my life had just begun. So my life started 22 years ago when I actually stopped drinking one day at a time. And let's get into how that all happened. So building a supportive network, to me, is getting involved in a sober group or organization, because I cannot do this alone. And I realized after all the times of trying to get sober all by myself, I just wasn't going to be able to make it all by myself. So what was the other option or alternative? And that was going back to Alcoholics Anonymous for the 50,000th time, because I actually was in and out of the program for 10 years prior to that. So from the age of 25 to 35, I was in and out of AA. Not every year, it would take me sometimes years to come back to AA, but I always tried to find an excuse to walk out of AA or to leave AA, because if you're looking for an excuse for anything, you can find it. And that's what I would do, because I really didn't want to get sober. But the last time I went back to AA was 22 years ago, and I've been staying in AA ever since. And I was willing to, what they'll ask you, or what my sponsor asked me was, are you willing to do whatever it takes to get and stay sober? Are you willing to surrender? And at that point I was. And it took it took all the jackpots happening to me to finally surrender and say, you know what? I am willing to go to any lengths to get sober. And that means I have to listen to someone that's gone before me and how they have been able to stay sober one day at a time. And so my sponsor took me back, because I had actually dumped her. I think it was 5 years prior to that. It took me 5 years to get back into the program, because that's how insidious this disease is. Alcoholism wants me dead, and it will do whatever it takes. So I needed to get back into a supportive network that would be able to show me how to stay sober no matter what, because shit happens. And if something happens in my life, drinking cannot be an option. And I am so grateful that I was willing to surrender 22 years ago. Also, thank you for joining my channel for today. I really appreciate your time, and I hope you're getting something out of my videos. I just want to also promote, if you need some extra support, I know I really love some of the books in the AA program of Alcoholics Anonymous, which is the Daily Reflections, and the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. This has the cover on it, but I mean, it's a lifesaver. Along with, I have the Woman's Way Through the 12 Steps, the 24 Hours a Day workbook, along with the meditation book of 24 hours a day. These are awesome, and you can find them at Amazon. That's where I've purchased all my books. And they also are under Audible as well, because I'm a big Audible person. I love Audible because I drive a lot for work. So sometimes that's the only way I can read my books. So I will put links below so you can check out the Amazon links to see if there's something that you might think will help you. I know they've benefited me a great deal. Also, I'm part of a cat rescue called Just One Cat Rescue, and we feed about 140 cats a night or a day. And there's about 10 of us that are all donating our money and our time to feed these cats, and we also get them spayed, neutered, and we're also trapping other cats to try to get them spayed and neutered. We get them adopted if they're friendly, which a lot of them are. So that's what we do on our off time when we're not working. So I wanted to put the link below if you'd like to donate. Even $5 helps us a great deal. Trying to feed all these cats, as well as get them spayed, neutered, and medically treated. So thank you for all your support. I really appreciate it. Another big part of my sober journey was living a sober lifestyle, which I had no idea how to live a sober lifestyle. Honestly, at the time that I got sober, I had a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old. I didn't even know how to deal with them sober. Every night I drank, so every night, and then on the weekends I drank all the time. So that just means I didn't know how to deal with them on life's terms. So for me to learn how to handle my children and my job, although I wasn't working, I took a voluntary layoff during that time so I could put 100% of my time into sobriety. But just learning to live life on life's terms sober with 2 young children was very difficult. And that's why, actually, my sponsor didn't even have kids. But I partnered with other women. Like, there was a supportive network in Alcoholics Anonymous. So even though my sponsor didn't have any children, I would reach out to other women that were sober, that went through similar experiences as me, and they would give me suggestions on how to handle different things that came up in my life. And I am so grateful for all the women. I actually went to a couple of women's meetings every week, which was wonderful, because even though co-ed meetings are great, and I mean, I enjoy them too, having a women's meeting is a little bit more personal, because you can actually talk about other topics that may be kind of taboo if men were in the room. And so that's why I think it's so important to have both, the co-ed meetings and the women's meetings. And also, it's important to pick a sponsor that is the same sex as yourself. Like, if I'm a woman, then I pick a woman for a sponsor. And if I'm a man, I pick a man sponsor. And I truly believe that is the way to go, because it can get a little bit tricky if you're having an opposite sex sponsor, because you get so close in that relationship as a sponsor-sponsee. And I just don't think that it's healthy to have, an opposite sex sponsor-sponsee. Definitely think that, I've seen some bad situations happen because of that as well. So, but the sober lifestyle is fantastic, because I never laughed so much until I would go out for dinner with a bunch of women, sober women. We would go to meetings and go out to eat after or before, but also we would go on weekend retreats, sober weekend retreats, and it was amazing, because we would be laughing so hard at restaurants that people thought we were drunk, and we were completely sober, just drinking Coke and Diet Coke. But oh my gosh, it's so funny, because when you have your first belly laugh, truly sober, it's such a great feeling. And just laughing with true laughter, without any alcohol trying to make it fake. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're drunk or when you're buzzed, or, it's a different type of experience, that when you really think something's funny genuinely, without any substance in your body. And so I started going out with all these women, having dinner at, driving to like a meeting, all of us in a carload, and going up to the White Mountains for our 12-step retreat. We used to have it at Loon Mountain, and I'm not sure if they're still doing it. I live in Florida now, but I would love to go back to that. I used to go every 6 months to that retreat, and it was awesome. Just some great memories, wonderful people, and then I realized that's what life is all about, living life sober and enjoying all the feelings. I mean, it's not easy living, life on life's terms and feeling the feelings, but when they're wonderful feelings, or when they're good feelings or happy feelings or laughter feelings, it's just amazing, especially when you're not used to that. For so many years, I drank and I didn't know what it was like to feel. And so I'm just, reliving, thinking about those days, those first days of sobriety, first couple of years of sobriety. I mean, it's, and they would say to me, stay sober long enough, Patty, to see the miracles happen. And I'm so grateful that I did, because I started seeing miracles in my life. Not maybe the day after I got sober. I mean, it takes time, but stay sober long enough to see the miracles happen, because they do happen. Again, thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. I really appreciate your time, and I hope you are getting something out of my videos. Please like, subscribe, and share if you think this might benefit someone else that you know. And again, I can't thank you enough for being with us. I love all of you. Thank you, and God bless.